I want to start off tonight because we're going to be talking tonight about how to play and how to have fun. So I always love this. I always love this lecture. It's one of my favorites. So I'll kind of go through it with you. I want to start off by doing a reading from The Language of Letting Go, and it's from July 29th. Have some fun. Have some fun, loosen up, enjoy life. Not be so somber and serious. We do not have to be so reflective, so critical, so bound up with ourselves and their rigid parameters. This is life, not a funeral service. Have some fun with it. Enter into it. Participate. Experiment. Take a risk. Be spontaneous. Don't always be so concerned about doing it right, doing the appropriate thing. God did not intend for us to be so inhibited, so restricted, so controlled. These repressive parameters are what other people have imposed on us, what we allow to be done to us. So many rules, so much shame. We live with it. Don't worry, we will learn lessons when necessary. We have learned discipline. We will not go away. What will happen is that we'll begin to enjoy life. Have some fun, loosen up, break a few rules. I like that one. Don't be punished by God. We do have to allow people to punish us. We do not have to allow people to punish us. We can stop punishing ourselves. As long as we're here and alive, let's begin to live. I wanted to read that tonight because I want to share with you one of my favorite lectures, and it's the one on how to play and how to have fun. To really get into this, I understand something about a lot of codependents and a lot of adult children of alcoholics. We are very, 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 very serious people. We analyze everything. And one of our major issues, of course, is control and fear of losing control. So tonight, what I want to do, I want to divide it up into 3 parts. In the first part, I'm going to give you some assignments, because I know how much adult children and codependents love assignments. In the second part, we're going to talk about stuffed animals. We're going to talk about things back to our childhood, the inner child. And then in the third part, I'm going to talk about Charlie Brown and his friends, and we'll connect with them. So I want to start off tonight by giving you some assignments. I want you to try this. It might be hard for many of you to do it, but it goes like this. If you're the type of person who makes their bed every morning, who makes everything perfect in their house, and their house is always very nice and organized, for 3 or 4 days, don't make your bed. Let your house go. Let everything kind of fall apart for 3 or 4 days. I don't think you'll last 2 hours without beginning to have a nervous breakdown. It's amazing. What we're trying to do is go meet our opposite, get in touch with our feelings. And again, the feelings are unbelievable when we go against the things we're used to doing. Now, you're the type of person who never makes their bed, whose house is always a disaster. Then for 3 or 4 days, make your bed, put your entire house in order, let it be almost perfect. That'll scare you even doing it. But the bottom line is, it's almost like we don't realize how predictable we are. We're so used to prediction. We're so used to doing things right away, getting things done. And people can set their clocks by us. Now, if you're always on time for everything, I would like you for the next week to be 10 minutes late for everything. Show up late. Not only will you go through changes, the people around you will go through changes, because they're not used to you doing this. It's amazing. It really is. There's another person who's never on time for anything. Then for the next week, I want you to show up 10 minutes early. That's scary. But it's also scary for the people around you. They're going to want to know what's wrong with you. It's amazing sometimes in the course of our journey. It's just so amazing. I mean, I know myself. Every time I go to the airport, I got to be 2.5 to 3 hours early. My daughter, when she goes to the airport, comes running down the runway before the thing starts. And she always says to me, "Why do you go so damn early?" Because I know one of my issues. I'm scared to be late. I'm scared of losing control. All this stuff is about letting go of control, and it's scary. I'd like you to take some time and try something else. Pull a prank on someone. Have some fun. Sometimes in life we just need to be able to be kids. Loosen up. Have some fun. Please don't get arrested. Because if you do, don't call me. I don't know you. Real simple and real plain. I'll tell you some stories. I love this. One night at Starting Point, back when I was running groups at night, I got done around 10 o'clock at night. I went out to my car because I always told my groups to pull pranks on people. So I got in my car and I was driving down the 42 freeway on my way home. And everybody on the freeway was honking their horn at me, giving me the thumbs up, waving to me, doing all kinds of stuff. I said, "What the hell is going on?" I said, "This is crazy. This is insane." I couldn't figure it out. It's almost like everybody went by was just waving and doing all kinds of crazy stuff and giving me the thumbs up. So finally, when I got home, I said to my wife, "This was the strangest ride I ever had home." I don't know if something's wrong with the car or something, but everybody was waving at me and I couldn't figure it out. So my wife said, "Let's go out and take a look at the car." We went out, and what my women's group had done on the back trunk of the car, they had pasted a poster with 3 girls in bikinis. I drove all the way the hell down the 42 freeway, the expressway, into Williamstown with that in the trunk of my car. No wonder everybody was giving me the thumbs up and everything. I says, "Oh my God, they got me good." Sometimes we gotta laugh, but there's somebody on this call tonight who also did something to me from one of my men's groups. They decided to rearrange my office and even turned some of the furniture upside down. So when I walked in, I actually tripped over stuff. I couldn't believe it. We have to laugh a little bit and loosen up a little bit. Life can't always be so organized. My other men's group, what they did basically, they took a stone and stuck it in the hubcap of my car. I was driving down the street, I heard clunk, 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 clunk. I could swear my motor, something was wrong with it. I pulled into a gas station. I told the guy. The guy looked at my motor. He said, "Nothing's wrong with your motor." So he said, "Drive it up back and forth a little bit." So I drove it back and forth. All it kept doing was going clunk, 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 clunk. He said, "Let me try something." He pulled the hubcap off. They had put 2 stones inside my hubcap. And every time the wheel went around, the stones were banging all over the place. I gotta kill them too. That's the fun part about life. I can tell you so many tricks and things my groups played on me. It was unbelievable. Some of the stuff they did, and so really in reality, it's a beautiful thing to be able to experience this and be part of it. So have some fun, okay? Nice fun. My wife and I did something very strange for our behavior, actually 2 things strange for our behavior. On the night before Halloween, Mischief Night, my wife and I went over to her girlfriend's house, and We toilet papered her whole entire house from top to bottom, including the trees and everything else. We had so much fun. And to see her reaction the next day. And so they came back. And on our house, what they did, they put all kinds of signs out that our house was up for sale cheap. We had this plastered all over our place. It was totally amazing. Till the war was on. We had a good time. I think that's a funny thing because it's fun. My wife did something too with her girlfriends. They went away for a weekend, a girls' weekend, and there was 7 of them. And they decided to do this at dinner at one of the nights. They got together and they made believe it was a bachelorette party for my wife who was getting married. And so they carried on all this kind of stuff and everything else. Then my wife got this strange phone call. It really wasn't a phone call, it was all planned. And the phone call was that the guy she was going to marry had split and didn't want to marry her anymore. So my wife started crying and carrying on and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And finally, you know, everybody was consoling her and doing all things in that
Do
direction.
that.
And really it's just
Anyway, don't matter. Anyway, so
um, I was
I'm in
unbelievable some of the stuff that was really going on. And so the amazing part about it is the waiters felt so sorry for her. They gave them dinner for free. They laughed their heads off. They had so much fun. You know, we need that in our life. We need to be able to loosen up. One more assignment. I would like you to go someplace all by yourself. No cell phones, no TVs, nothing. And for a good hour or 2 hours, just sit and be quiet. Do nothing. You know how scary that is? Just to do nothing. And that means you can't entertain yourself in any way. We have become so addicted to these things. It's amazing. So I recommend to you sometime, take this, hide it, and leave it hidden for about 3 days, and then come back to it. During those 3 days, you will have a total anxiety attack, wondering what's on it. It's amazing, isn't it? Again, I share these with you because they solve 2 problems. They help us get in touch with feelings, that's for sure. Every time we break our pattern and lose control, all kinds of feelings start coming out. We dare to be different, to try other things in our life. It's kind of scary when you come right down to it. And so it's really important to take the time to try some of these things. Hey, want you to give me a report next week. We'll see what happens. Our second part tonight, I want to talk about something that's really important. One of the things I tell people to do is, first of all, try to find yourself a beautiful picture of you as a little child. Either you're a little boy, little girl, but picture yourself as a little child. I brought mine along with me. I used when I was in therapy. And I kind of show it to you. You know, and I love this little thing. It's been with me. I have it in a frame. I probably was about 5 years old, I guess, somewhere around there. But one of the things, actually, I was 5. My mother wrote on the back of it. But I love so much about it is, just to be able to meet that little child. Now, the second thing is, if you have anything that connects you back to your childhood, a stuffed animal, a doll, anything. I also have upstairs a decoupage thing of my little booty when I was a child. I found these in my mother's drawer. The right side of it's worn out. I also found my toe tag. Because back then when you were born, they put a toe tag on you with all my measurements on it. So my wife did me a favor. She went out and bought me my own doll. Isn't this amazing? And the little doll is Vinny. And what she did was on the back of it are all my measurements. She had it made for me. So now I have my own little doll that I can enjoy and be part of. I have little Vinny I can take care of. You know, there's something special about all this. There's something special about the feelings and stuff that go along with it. You'd be good. Okay? Put you right here. There you are. I want to tell you a story. This is the guy that I did my inner child work with. I named him Little Vinny because I really did my inner child work with this. I got to tell you about this bear. This bear has a history. Take a look at it. This bear is 65 years old. Realize I got this little guy when I was 20 years old. And I'll tell you the story. When I was a seminarian, I was working at a Lady Mount Carmel church in Camden, New Jersey. Billy knows where it was. And some lady from the parish came up to me one day and gave this to me and said, "You need this." Of course, I looked at her and said, "Okay, thank you." I went inside that directory and I said, "Well, I better put it somewhere because she's going to come back and ask me while I'm doing with it." So I stuck it on the shelf. When I got ordained, I took it with me. Every parish I went to, every place I went to, for some reason, I call it a God thing. For some reason, I brought it with me. It always just sat on the shelf. Never paid too much attention to it. Then when I was in my middle 40s, 45, 46 years old, my therapist was doing inner child work with me. And my therapist said to me, "When you come to therapy next week, I want you to bring a stuffed animal with you." I said, "For real?" He said, "Yeah." So I figured I got to get him a stuffed animal. Okay. So I was going to go out to buy one and I saw this guy sitting on the shelf. So I said, "Ah, what the heck?" So I took him off the shelf, put him in a shopping bag, went to my therapy session, and I said to my therapist, "Here's your stuffed animal." He said, "No, no, no. This is your stuffed animal. You come with me." Took me to the back room of his office. There was a recliner back there. Told me to get into the recliner, reclined it back. He said, "Now take your stuffed animal, hold it to your heart. And I want you to just be quiet." So he put some soft music on. He put dim lights on. And he said, "I want you to stay here for the next 50 minutes and just hold on to that stuffed animal. Just be here." And he even said to me, "Are you for real?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm paying you for the session. You know that, don't you?" She said, "I know. Do what I tell you." So I sat there. I was a little aggravated at the beginning, but I just stayed there. The music was playing. I sat there, held on to this little guy, and I can't explain it, but it's almost like different feelings start coming up inside of me. And after a while, I actually started to cry. And I began to, oh, it was so nice, so peaceful, so gentle, even to the point where at the end of the 15 minutes, I didn't want to stop. I loved cuddling and being with that little stuffed animal. You know, I never experienced that. And I know now how important it is to feel close, to feel connected. I truly believe that stuffed animals, dolls, whatever we have in our life, can help us to get in touch with the beautiful little child that's inside of us. It's even better if you take your photograph and as you lay there, just look at that photograph and celebrate with that photograph. It's such a beautiful thing to be connected with. You know, I share this with you because now I know why this was given to me 60 years ago, 65 years ago. Now I know why. I really believe that everything in life happens for a purpose. And that's why I recommend to everybody, don't be afraid. Enjoy. Enjoy the beauty. Enjoy the specialness. And my other stuffed animal that I love, of course, he's my buddy. He goes with me everywhere, is my buddy Snoopy. Love this guy. Say hello to everybody. Okay. That's a neat guy. I saw we have to learn to just enjoy and be. Now, I'll come back to Snoopy in a little while because I'm not done with him yet. I'll be back. One of the things I really love sharing about is just to be able to feel and be in touch with things that bring you back to being a little child again. Remember, it's never too late to have a happy childhood, to experience beautiful things. Because deep down inside of all of us, we do have a wounded child that needs healing. And that's why these are good ways to heal it and be connected with it. So, okay, little Vinny, I'm going to put you over here. You can relax. Take it easy. You can see everybody, right? Good. Okay. Now, the third thing I want to talk about tonight. Sheesh, got a frog tonight. Third thing I want to talk about tonight are Charlie Brown and Friends. You know, I love that comic strip. I got to tell you another story. When I went through therapy, I had a very strange therapist. God rest his soul. I actually have his photograph, Mark's photograph, on my wall at Starting Point. When I used to go to therapy, the ways he did his therapy were a little bit different. He took the characters from that comic strip and had you each week role play one of the characters. I never knew this, but each one of the characters in that comic strip represent part of the concept of who we are as a person, our personality traits. All those things are connected in there. It's totally amazing. So I'm going to share a few of them with you tonight. Help us out. One of my favorites, always will be one of my favorites, is Lucy. Lucy is the control freak. Lucy is the the one that drives everybody nuts and makes them all crazy. She's very compulsive. She has her own psychiatric box that she works on Charlie Brown all the time with. Lucy is constantly, constantly trying to control everybody. Her favorite person to go after a lot of times is Schroeder, the piano player. Did you ever notice how Lucy really is the addictive personality? She wants what she wants when she wants it. And she is going to drive Schroeder crazy until he pays attention to her. And all Schroeder cares about is the music. See, Schroeder is the little part of us that wants to isolate either in a hobby, music, place to hide, work, no matter what. So Schroeder represents the part of us that wants to run away and hide. Don't bother me, leave me alone. I want to stay in my little world. And Lucy tries to bring him out, but he constantly has an answer for her. He drives her nuts. And one thing about Lucy, I love what she does to poor Charlie. My favorite cartoon is Charlie Brown. I'm sorry, Lucy the addict holding the football for Charlie Brown to kick. When Charlie goes to kick it, she yanks it away. He goes flying in the air and lands on his backside. He gets up, winds himself up again. She puts it back down. Boom, the same thing again. After about 6 times, they say to Charlie, Charlie, she's not going to hold the football. Charlie says what most codependents say, someday she will. The cry of the codependent. Someday I'm going to make a meeting. Someday I'm going to do my work. Someday I'm going to take part in this. Someday this, someday that, someday here. Did you ever go to a codependent's funeral? Over the top of the casket, they have this nice, beautiful flower, and it says on it, someday. It's always someday. And I really love that cartoon because it brings out the whole concept of both their personalities. Then, of course, we have Linus with his world-famous security blanket. Linus is like us. We want to hold on, and hold on. We have a hard time letting go. See, we have all of our idiosyncrasies, the things we're afraid of, our little security blankets, our little things. And sometimes when people start taking stuff away from us, we can't handle it. And poor Linus, oh God, if he ever loses his blanket, he's going to go nuts. Again, he's like us. I got to control everything. I got to hold on to it. I can't let it go. We do this a lot of times in situations that are very negative for us, and we still hold on to it. Addicts know what I'm talking about. How we hang on to our drug of choice, even when we know it's not good for us. It's our security blanket. So Linus is famous for that. And then, of course, we have Charlie Brown, the ultimate codependent. Poor old Charlie. Poor old Charlie Brown. The little red-headed girl doesn't pay any attention to him. Poor Charlie. He has a crush on the red-headed girl, but he can't face her. So he hides and looks, checks it out. He's so afraid, And we also see poor Charlie with his baseball team. His poor team, poor Charlie, that poor team gets beat 63-1, 63-0. He's got Lucy out in the outfield. The ball falls right in front of me. He says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm looking at my nails, get myself together here. Things are more important." And Charlie goes, "Good grief. What are they doing to me?" Everything. But Charlie has this drive for his baseball team, baseball season. He loves, and yet at the same time, he gets so frustrated. Snoopy puts him in the outfield. Snoopy says, "I can't catch my paws. That doesn't work." And so basically, he drops everything. And Charlie goes, "Good grief, Charlie Brown, my God." Charlie Brown also loves to put Snoopy into obedience school to get him under control. As soon as Snoopy gets out, he continues to drive Charlie crazy, make him nuts. I love it. Then, of course, the one I want to really talk about tonight is my buddy, Snoopy. Snoopy is so special. I call Snoopy the spirit. I call him the gift of recovery. He's the symbol of recovery. Inside of all of us, we have this beautiful, beautiful Snoopy, this beautiful spirit inside of us. And that spirit wants to have fun, wants to play. But Snoopy, you can't control him. Snoopy does his own thing. He's got his doghouse. He always lays on top of it. He's got his little favorite Beethoven, he takes care of things. His little buddy. And basically watch. Snoopy has a beautiful way of handling things in life. They warn Snoopy, they say, Snoopy, be careful. Lucy's having a bad day. She's grouchy. She's yelling at everybody. Snoopy says, okay. Snoopy goes right up to her door and knocks on it. When she opens it, he kisses her on the nose and beats it the hell out of there. It's called detach with love. Right, Lana? Detach with love. And it's beautiful because it's the way in which Snoopy operates. Snoopy is constantly stealing Linus' security blanket. What does recovery do to us? It takes away our toys. It takes away our securities. Recovery brings us into recovery. It takes away the things we're so dependent on. Scary. And yet, recovery is the gift. Recovery loves doing it. And he drives poor Linus nuts. Giles doesn't know how to handle it. Just like we don't know how to handle things when we first get into recovery. It's scary. Then, of course, we have Snoopy and Charlie Brown. Snoopy loves to drive Charlie crazy. He's constantly trying to get Charlie to stop going to Lucy. Here we are at the psychiatric booth again, where Charlie keeps giving her a nickel so Lucy can tell him what to do. And Snoopy just bounces around and tries to tell Charlie, no. Of course, he knows Lucy's conning him. See, I really believe so deeply in the concept of Snoopy. I really believe that Snoopy is the hound of heaven. I believe that Snoopy is very special. I always say, inside of every one of us, there's a little Snoopy. There's a little child. Inside of each and every one of us, there's a spirit. It just wants to smile. It just wants to enjoy. Just wants to celebrate. You see, we're talking tonight about the fact that we have to learn to let go. You know, they say it over and over again in the program, let go and let God. We have a hard time with that. But if we look at Snoopy and we look at how much he likes people, in fact, he might come out there and give all you guys a kiss tonight. Watch out. It's totally amazing. Be careful, Gene. He might get you. The bottom line is that's what it's really all about. It's a beautiful part of it. And so he gets to visit everybody and kiss everybody. Boom. James just got a kiss. And he just got Billy. That's great. And Lana, what the heck? Hey, he loves Leslie. It's just totally amazing. And of course, he's got to say hi to Pat. And even the crazy Carol. That's the fun part. But it's the fun part about life. It's a beautiful little child. Charlie knows what I'm talking about. Open up that door, have some fun. Okay? And Snoopy helps us to forget our troubles for a while. And just realize sometimes you just have to laugh, enjoy, and celebrate. You know, a good psychiatrist friend of mine, Dr. Johnson, used to say to me all the time, he's a great guy that worked in a rehab, he's in recovery. He used to say, Vince, if you wake up in the morning, you're having a bad day, and it gets worse around 12 o'clock, go sit in the corner somewhere and just laugh. It's cheaper than a psychiatric hospital. It's better than a nervous breakdown. And it is the greatest therapy on the face of this earth. And by the way, you don't need an insurance card. I always love that. And I'm realizing more and more, the more we can loosen up, and the more we can relax, the more we can enjoy, the more we can celebrate, the more we can play, the more life can be. Yes, we all have problems. As we get older, we have more serious problems. But the problems are always going to be there. We always have to solve them one way or another. But sometimes you just got to laugh at life, even when it's not funny. That's why Dr. Johnson used to say, the person that can laugh is the person that can heal. It's a beautiful part of the process of recovery. So I wanted to share with you tonight because I really believe in the connection to stuffed animals, in the connection to dolls. All these are part of life. We need these in our life. They remind us what it's really all about. We have to learn to let Snoopy come into our hearts, to celebrate who we are. And that's how things really begin. Yes, along with the celebration comes tears, crying. So we combine the two together, laughter and crying, two beautiful therapeutic tools, totally amazing. And they teach us, don't keep it inside. We need each other. We need family. We need to be connected to one another. And that's the fun part about it. So I hope this helped a little bit to get you to loosen up a little bit and have some fun. And Snoopy says he loves all of you. He cares about every one of you. And he really wants to spend time with you. So my prayer tonight is that we're able to take the little Snoopy inside of us and allow it to come alive. So let us pray. Dear God, we come before you in prayer. We ask the God of our understanding, our divine presence, to guide us. We come here and we say thank you. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the gift of struggle. Thank you for the gift of laughter. Teach us not to be afraid, to be truly human, not to be afraid of our humanness. Yes, we're going to make mistakes, but teach us to be open to learn, to grow, to experience new things in our life. Help us to realize there's a beautiful, beautiful little child inside of us. That little child wants to love us and care for us. And we know how close children are to you. You've often said, bring the little children to you. Because children really are the teachers of life. So we thank you. We come with gratitude. We come with love. We ask that you are able to help us to be in touch with the spirit that's inside of each and every one of us. Make that spirit come alive so we can truly celebrate the gift of who we are as a person. So we pray, we say thank you in gratitude and in love. We ask this, we pray this every day. We pray it in your name. Amen.